Kelly with Kellyscards.ca, and I'm glad you could join me. This is the fourth card in this everyday card kit number 5. I've picked out a celebration birthday card here, and as you can see, we've got this cute little bear and a few little elements in this card. So to get started, this is quite a busy piece, so I'm using some of the coordinating paper, as well as I picked out some green paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer it up like this just to help block some of the busyness of this paper, and then we'll get some nice color through the card, but it won't be too busy or overwhelming. So to start out, we're going to start putting these pieces on first, and I'm going to use my tape runner, and I'm going to put down here this very first piece, and I'm going to have the red on the bottom, and I want the happy birthday part to stick out, so I'm going to align it just a little bit sticking out so that we can see just an edge here of the happy birthday. And I'm going to press this on, and now for this Slimey Green piece, I am going to add it just on top so that we can see a little bit of the blue, but that we're going to still see some of these words up on top. And that way, again, it just tones it down a little bit. Now the ribbon I'm going to put on, I really like the green and then the blue, red, and then the green again. I think this is going to help just bring all this together. I've cut this ribbon so you can layer it on the back, and what I like to do is I like to use Scotch tape just to adhere it, because that way I know it's not going anywhere. If I use tape adhesive or something like that, I worry that it might come loose. So for this extra ribbon, you can just cut it off, and we'll use a little piece of tape here. So now that is all together, and I just love how this looks with the color blockage. So getting into the image, I've got this cute little bear on these balloons. Keep in mind that you can put some stickles on here or varying colored markers just to add a little bit more oomph to the balloons. And of course you can use Wink Stella, but if you want to leave it plain, that is fine too. So we're going to get this little bear on here. And now I am going to adhere this piece down to the card, and we can start putting this together. So for going over the ribbon part, I like to use the double-sided tape. It just helps it adhere better to the card base. And we'll pull this off and get this adhered. Got this here, and I'm just going to bring this in and center it on this black card base. Any little bits of adhesive I just kind of tuck under with my scissors, and we'll get that on there. I like to use this bone folder to help just push it down, especially over the ribbon. It's nice and adhered. So now we will get to our little guy. And I'm not going to put a sentiment on this card because this paper is obviously clearly says happy birthday, so there is no need to layer. If you wanted to, you could stamp something under here and add it, but with the paper I don't think I'm going to. And before I do that, I noticed that the ribbon adhered this way is a little bit open, so what I'm going to do is just take my tape runner, and I'm just going to tuck a little bit of adhesive, and when I do this I like to pull it straight and then press it down so the ribbon is straight, because sometimes it gets a little bit wonky when you tape it down. By pushing out the sides like this and then pressing, it's going to be more or less nice and straight for you. So now that that's a little bit better, we're going to add our image, and I'm going to pop him up here with pop dots. One of the things I've been doing lately is using foam, as I showed in one of the other videos, to cover the back of a piece like this. It's just a little bit better for mailing because it will all be the same height off of the card. But I still have a lot of these pop dots, so I'm going to use them. You can get a lot of those foam papers at the craft stores and scrapbooking stores. Michael's also sells them. It's really not that expensive. The only thing with foam pieces is you have to add your own adhesive to the foam on both sides. But again, I feel like you get a little bit better coverage. So we're going to place this down now. And I want to make sure that he is kind of centered because I really want to see the writing. He's going to be nice and centered there. So I'm just going to pull this up and I'm going to tuck this little piece in here. And I'm going to have it just kind of sticking out right there. And I'm going to press down. A little bit of the foam tape will grab it from underneath. Just add a little bit of interest and add a little bit more red on the card. So lastly, what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of Wink of Stella to these balloons, just to give them a little bit of shimmer. After all, it is a celebration card, so why not add a little bit of glimmer? The Wink of Stella is made in several colors. You could use each of the colors if you wanted. I really like the clear glitter brush pen just for this reason, so that I can do a whole bunch of different colors and it's still going to come off a little bit shimmery and I don't have to worry about multiple pens. So now that is on there and that's starting to look good. I don't know if you can see the, there we go. Sometimes it's hard to show on video, but now you can see that little bit of glimmer and I think that adds just a nice amount. So I'm just going to add now for some interest a little bit of dash lines with this nice thinner black pen. You can do this or you can skip this, but I think that I love the dash lines. It just adds a little bit more interest to the card, especially on this piece that is fairly plain. And it just adds a little something extra to the card. And I think I'm going to do it as well on the top piece here as well. And then come across here. And I just like that little bit of extra details. It's the little extra details you put in the cards that really help them stand out. So the last part is just to put the insert into the inside of the card. And there we go. So that will finish up the card today. And again, I really like picking out the busier papers and then using other papers to help kind of calm it down so it won't be an overwhelming card. I love how all the colors work together on this card, and there's so many layers. There's the main piece here, this piece, the ribbon, and then of course we have the image in background and then this little paper clip. And I really like how it works together and helps to build the interest in the card. So I hope you enjoyed this fourth card. Again, there's 2 more cards left in the series. You can check out the ones if you've missed the first 3 cards, which I will have linked in the playlist below. I really want to thank everyone for watching the videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.